yeah. House of Dragons. The Game of Thrones prequel?
Yeah, it's a prequel.
Right? We've seen 3 episodes now. Haven't talked about it. But it's getting pretty darn good reviews out there, from what I'm seeing.
The last I saw on IMDb, the original Game of Thrones had 9.2. This one had 8.9.
Okay.
So not bad.
So people are saying, loving this one, hating House of Dragon. House of Rings of Power. I'm kind of the opposite.
Yeah? You're not liking it?
I'm okay with it, but it's not as epic as those first, like the first season of Game of Thrones drew me in right away. There was like a cliffhanger after every show. You know what I mean? Like it kept going. This just seems like a story. It's going on.
Well, it is a story.
But I mean, there's no real consequence. There's not like
It's a slow burn.
very, very slow burn. And I don't know if, like, at some points the dragons look really cool. I like the sound effects of the dragons. And then in other scenes they look really bad. The last...
Even the golden dragon?
The 3 there at the end. I like that they have the different sizes, right? And that kind of thing. But the whole thing with his brother and the houses... Really, the only way you can tell the difference between the houses... Well, we have a black guy in white dreads. He's that house. We have the woman. She's that house. We have the king. He's this house. Like it's
until you get to know them, until you get to know.
Yeah, but I mean that's how I remember them. Unfortunately, it's not through their actions and their storytelling and that. It's through their visual thing that they made. Where the other one, I could remember who the houses were based on how they were acting and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Right? The House of Lannister, there with the incest between the brother and sister,
Well,
and
they're getting to incest. I think they're
and all
getting
this
to
stuff.
incest in this one. So it'll pick up for you.
I'm hoping, yeah.
Okay, well wait, you said you're kind of the opposite.
I'm liking Rings of Power.
Okay, so
more.
Like, if you would give them a score versus each other.
They're both good. Like, I'd say right now, Rings of Power for me is about, near an 8. I'm enjoying the story and that. And this is like a 7.5. It's not bad, but it's...
But you look forward more to the other one.
Well, also, when you look at the people reviewing it, one is being roasted and one is being hailed as the coming of the best thing ever.
Oh, Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter.
Yeah, and I'm going, no, they're both very equal in comparison. I'm kind of enjoying them both. This is taking a long time for me to get into it, though. Okay, we know something's going to happen with the blonde, the dragon. What's going to happen? Tell us something, because it's like her storyline is going nowhere so far.
But she's a great actress.
Well, they're fine, but there's nothing going on, and there's no surprises yet.
See, but the thing about Game of Thrones is that it's a lifetime. This is the daily life of this particular empire.
Oh yeah, and this one is hopping from years to years, months and months and months, from one to day, like one show to the other.
There was a 2-year gap.
Yeah.
Okay, but they
in episodes.
But they wanted to show young princess versus princess coming into her own. Right? And from birth of a baby to a competitor for the throne.
Yeah. Well,
and we'll probably see another jump.
And the relationship between the king and his new queen. You saw the relationship building, but all of a sudden they're married and she has a kid and she's pregnant again. Like, it's that big a jump. Like, you're not following the story. You're not seeing anything happen. You're not seeing them fall in love. You're not seeing the turmoil between the houses for him choosing. You're not seeing any of that.
Well, I don't know. Like, I'm entranced by the scheming. Like, you want to like this person, but then you see that they're also a bad person. And then you see that bad person and you say, oh, they're doing something kind of cool and interesting. And you don't know who to root for because they're all terrible and good at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's the whole Game of Thrones thing.
They're all self-absorbed.
Yeah. Do I think it's perfect? Damn near. But there are a couple of things I didn't like.
Such as?
There's a battle on the beach.
Yes.
Where he has to draw out the other guy. And they say, well, basically what we got to do is we got to send one person in there, sacrifice him, and draw out the other guy. Okay. And they do that. And the guy's like a Terminator. He goes in there, he takes a bunch of arrows, he kills about 50,000 people, and he still lives. I thought that, okay, come on, you could have made it more realistic. That was pretty bad.
Well, also, the enemy general sends out first 5 troops. Oh, he started to kill my troops. Send out my entire army to kill this one guy.
He was a smart guy. He was suspicious of what was happening.
But he still sent out his entire army. His entire army.
Well, the guy killed half of his army already alone, so I better gang up on him.
Well, they have all the archers up on the cliff shooting at him. Just keep letting shoot at him.
I don't know.
Oh, and by the way, quietest dragon attack ever in that scene. They're all surrounding him. We're gonna get him. Gonna get him. Fire. Like, but every other time you hear the dragon, you can hear him coming, the swooping, the screaming, and all this of the dragon, the sound. But not in that scene. Like
Stealth dragon.
yeah, stealth dragon, and like the dragon is like a size of a skyscraper. That dragon, so it's not like he would block out the sun.
That was one story part that I had issue with, but I'm loving every character. Every character in this whole show is epic to me. How would I rate it against Rings of Power? Well, Rings of Power I'm really enjoying.
Yeah.
But when I'm watching this, I need to watch the next episode. But I can wait a week for the Rings of Power to come out, and when I watch it, I'm going to enjoy it.
Right.
But this one, I need to watch it now.
Huh? I'm kind of like for both. I can wait for them both to come out. Like I can't wait. It's not like when I watch Billions, I had to watch episode after episode. This, like, okay,
you don't need
next
to
week,
binge it.
Next week I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And it might not be the day it comes out. It might be a couple days after it comes out. Like, I'm not in that big a hurry right now. But I'm enjoying them, but I'm not enthralled by them yet.
Well, I need to know. How is it going to go with the princess? Is she going to marry that seashore prince, or is she going to marry her bodyguard?
Her bodyguard.
Or is she going to do something with Damon? I need to know these things now. It's like a soap opera for men.
Maybe she'll marry her uncle.
Yeah, Damon, yeah. It's possible.
Okay. How about you? What's your
How about
thoughts
me?
on these shows?
It's not for me. Like, this is not, it's too slow for me.
It's not survival.
I don't, no, listen. I don't know these, and of course nobody does, but I don't know the characters.
Nobody does until they
Right.
watch it.
And I get that. But, so it's almost like you have to watch every episode 2 or 3 times because they're throwing so much at you. It's hard to keep up.
Oh, I don't know the character names other than the main ones.
Right, so when they're all talking about, each house, you don't know who they're talking about.
No.
And it's just hard to keep up and follow, and you lose interest. That's what's happening with me anyway. I lose interest in it before the next scene.
It's not on TikTok. So Mark has a hard time keeping.
Maybe it's my
watching
ADHD that's,
that are longer than 30 seconds.
But it's like, and I like, in fairness, I wasn't even a huge watcher of Game of Thrones. I watched the first season, and then second season rolled around, and I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I got to season 3, and then I stopped.
It just wasn't for me.
Wow.
And so
You guys are
watching the
lame.
prequel to a show I didn't watch.
Well, the thing is, you don't need to watch Game of Thrones to watch this.
No, but I'm not a big advocate, and I'm not a big fan of prequels to begin with, because you know how things are going to end up.
No, you don't. These are
This
years.
This is a prequel that supersedes that. But
What I did appreciate about this is that when they're out and about in the environment, it's not green screen.
No.
Or a lot of it's not green screen. When they're walking through the bush, you see the bugs around them. It's the real thing. I appreciate that. It's very real to life kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. But I would say on par, I'd say both shows are as good in my for myself. Am I hating this, House of Dragon? No. Am I enjoying it? Yeah, it's good. Well done and everything. I just haven't been hooked on it yet. It may.
Yeah, it may. But I'll agree with you as far as the Rings of Power. I'm enjoying that more.
If it's very mainstream, Rings of Power. This one, if you're considering watching it, House of Dragon, if you haven't watched it yet, episode 4, I believe, is like the sexual awakening of the princess, and you're going to see a lot of that stuff in.
Oh, and you're gonna, and
that
it's
episode.
very violent. as well.
It's quite violent. You see corpses, rotting corpses, torture.
You see smashed faces
Yeah.
with maces and stuff like that. So be prepared for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, very mature show.
Yeah. I've only gotten to episode 3. I'm enjoying the show, but it's not a must-watch right now for me.
To me, an 8 is a must-see, and a 9 is a show or movie of a generation. This is a 9 for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you think this is the next big thing?
Just like Breaking Bad, original Game of Thrones, first 5 seasons anyway, and this, they're all equal in my book. Like, you have to see it because it is a show that there's nothing else comparable at the time.
Are you watching this with your wife?
No.
Is she watching it?
No,
No.
she can't do this.
Okay. That's why you're enjoying it, I think.
I'm keeping that in.
Oh, it's so quiet.
So peaceful.
I love this show.
I think you're projecting, Aaron. Who am I kidding? She doesn't watch us.
No.
Movie related. Who are those guys?
Anyway.
Okay, that's our quick thoughts on House of Dragons. What do you guys think? Have you watched it yet? Were you big Game of Thrones fans? A lot of people love the characters. People became instant stars after being on that show.
And is it fair to compare this to Rings of Power? Or is it something that you shouldn't compare? Because
Yeah, the only reason I compared it is because people are lambasting one and raving about the other. And I think it was only because of the social commentary stuff.
No, it's not just that. It's how they're writing the characters. They absolutely detest what they've done to Galadriel. I don't know if it's about the actress or about how they've written her, but they detest that character.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, the princess in House of Dragons isn't a charmer herself.
No, but I'm cheering for her.
Well, there you go. We were ending the video, and then we kept going.